Good morning, and thank you for joining us for St. Louis University's 2025 New Student Convocation and Family Welcome. I ask you to please silence all cell phones. Students and families, the bearer of the University Mace, Dr. Mike Lewis, Provost of St. Louis University. We now present the academic deans, the Student Government Association President, the President's University Leadership Council, and members of the Board of Trustees. Stage party, you may be seated. We now present the President of St. Louis University, Dr. Edward Fazer. The faculty of the schools and colleges of St. Louis University will be escorted by the University Marshals. Please welcome the endowed chairs and professors and faculty of St. Louis University. Faculty, you may be seated. To welcome everyone today, it is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mike Lewis, the Provost of St. Louis University. As our Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Lewis oversees not only our educational enterprise, but also numerous areas that support students outside of the classroom. Under his leadership, the university has adopted an ambitious academic strategic plan, a collaborative roadmap that will guide SLU's scholarly work for the next several years. Dr. Lewis.
Good morning, New Billikens. Wonderful to see all of you here. Welcome to St. Louis University. I'm so excited that you're joining us to pursue your education and your dreams. Let me start by saying that St. Louis University is first and foremost a university grounded in academic rigor. You will be challenged here. You excelled at your high schools, and you are surrounded by others as talented and as driven as you. Here at SLU, we have world-class faculty experts in their fields, and they will hold you to the highest standards. One of the great opportunities you will encounter here at SLU is the ability to engage with your faculty in their research and scholarly areas. You will learn not only the critical elements of the disciplines you study, but you will also learn to be creative within those areas. The goal is not merely the acquisition of knowledge. Our hope for you is that with the beginning of your career at SLU, this is your first step toward generation of knowledge. Our faculty think deeply about educating you toward this end. And one of those faculty members is our MC for today's ceremony, Dr. Lisa Dorsey, and I am pleased to introduce her to you now. Dr. Dorsey is SLU's Associate Provost of Undergraduate Education, overseeing and coordinating the development and implementation of undergraduate academic programs, policies, and support services. She is also an Associate Professor of Physical Therapy and Athletic Training at our Dorsey College of Health Sciences. A student-focused administrator and educator, Dr. Dorsey has been a distinguished member of our faculty for more than 16 years. She is also a two-time graduate of our university, so she is a Billiken through and through. Dr. Dorsey.
Again, good morning and welcome. We are delighted you are here for the 2025 New Student Convocation and Family Welcome. On this auspicious occasion, we especially welcome our new first-year students, our new transfer students, our new international students, and your families and friends. The students of St. Louis University represent many countries. When you graduate, you will share the mission of the university with the world. You will become flag bearers for the university. Today, we honor the countries represented by our new students by displaying the flags of their home nation behind us. St. Louis University begins each academic year with a convocation ceremony as a celebration of new beginnings. At St. Louis University, you are called to a life of scholarship, community, service, and transformation. This is the start of your journey to create knowledge, pursue justice, and demonstrate leadership. This is the time for new academic pursuits, new friendships, new challenges, and new opportunities to grow in and with the community. At St. Louis University, it is also our tradition to begin important events with an invocation. As you are able, I invite you to rise as Father John Peck of the Society of Jesus, an assistant professor of philosophy, leads us in prayer. Father.
Creator of all things, source of light and wisdom, we, the students, faculty, staff, and administration of St. Louis University, ask your blessing upon a new academic year. We praise and thank you for all those whose love and sacrifices have carried us here, especially our parents. Our hearts are eager for growth and discovery, but we are a little worried too about the challenges ahead, about how our relationships will change, about what our place here will be. Therefore, full of hope in your goodness, we humbly yet boldly ask a double portion of your Holy Spirit. May his grace come before everything we do, study, service, sports, and social life. May his power bolster our efforts to become the men and women you will us to be, so that beginning on this campus, in this city, we can build a world according to your heart. We ask all this in the name of Jesus our Lord.
Thank you, Father Peck. You may be seated. Next, we would like to invite one of our students, Grace LaPiccolo, to share her insights with you. A senior majoring in Catholic Studies and Bioethics, Grace is the president of our Student Government Association. During her time at SLU, Grace has been very engaged in a wide array of co-curricular experiences. She has served the Student Government Association each of her first 3 years before becoming president. She has also been president of the Panhellenic Council, served as a resident advisor, has been an Oriflamme leader, and has worked in the Student Involvement Center. She is deeply committed to advocating for individuals with disabilities and promoting accessibility. Grace truly embraces what it means to be a Billiken. Please join me in welcoming Grace.
Good morning, and welcome to your new home. I'm standing up here today as a senior who was sitting just where you are just a few years ago, and I want to start by saying something very simple but important. It is good that you are here. Not just because you got into SLU or found your seat in this auditorium, but because you belong here just as you are. Whether you're feeling excited, overwhelmed, a little lost, or all of the above, this is your place now. And yeah, I get that might feel like a stretch after only a day, but I promise you're not alone. We've all been there. And more importantly than that, you have an entire class that feels all these feelings and emotions sitting right beside you. So lean on them. One thing I've learned over the past 3 years is this. If you treat this place like your home, it will start to feel like one. This doesn't mean it happens overnight, but showing up, trying new things, saying yes, talking to someone new, that's how it starts. Go to that first club meeting, sit next to someone you don't know, show up to class, even the optional ones. You'll be surprised how quickly things start to click. And while you're investing in this place, don't forget to invest in yourself too. You'll hear a phrase here a lot, cura personalis. Care for the whole person, body, mind, body, and soul. This isn't just a motto we throw around here. It's something that you'll feel in your classes, your friendships, your late night talks, your random study sessions in the library, or even just walking down West Pine. When I first got here, I thought that I had it all figured out. I was pre-med with a plan on how to most efficiently get into medical school, become a doctor, and make money. I knew exactly where I was headed. But through all the moments I said yes to things outside of my plan, I started to figure out who I actually wanted to be. I got involved in disability advocacy, where I realized I cared more about the healthcare policy than the actual fixing that I would be doing as a doctor. I got involved in the student government, where I realized how much impact my voice could have. I even joined a sorority, which gave me meaningful volunteer experiences and an entire community who cheers for me every step I take. Through it all, My faith kept me grounded, allowing me to trust in change and understand that it is a good thing. And now I'm applying to law school. And let me tell you, that was not the plan. And standing here as your student body president, that definitely wasn't on my 10-year plan either. I was just another student trying to find my way and voice concerns when I saw injustice. But people here believed in me before I ever believed in myself. So if no one has told you yet, let me be the first. I believe in you. This community will show up for you, and it'll grow you in ways that you don't see coming. And if you're sitting there wondering if you're doing this whole college thing right, let me let you in on a little secret. None of us have it figured out. We're all just doing our best, but we're doing it together. You might be looking up here at the faculty, staff, administrators, trustee members, or even the university president. But I want you to know something. We're all looking up at you too. Yes, literally, because you're seated above us, but also figuratively, because you are the leaders of SLU just as much as any of us are. We are looking to you for new ideas, new input, and new perspectives. You don't need a title to lead. You lead by listening. You lead by being kind. You lead by making someone feel like they belong. So I encourage you to say yes. Say yes to new people. Say yes to opportunities that help you lean into discomfort. And say yes to becoming someone you haven't even met yet. And don't forget, it is good that you are here. Welcome home, Billikens. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. We know one of the primary reasons that you, our new students, chose to attend St. Louis University is our outstanding reputation for providing excellent education grounded in Catholic Jesuit values. As you begin this transformative educational journey, you should know our large faculty and staff are here to support you. One of those outstanding faculty members is Dr. Cristina Garcia, an associate professor of Spanish in SLU's College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Garcia received SLU's 2021 Nancy McNear Ring Award for Excellence in Teaching, which is the only teaching honor initiated and bestowed by students representing all colleges and schools at St. Louis University. An expert on phonetics and phonology, sociolinguistics, Ecuadorian Spanish, and acquisition of second language pronunciation, Dr. Garcia joined St. Louis University faculty in 2015. She has also received SLU awards for faculty commitment to experiential learning and faculty excellence in diversity and social justice. In her 10 years at SLU, she has made a strong impact on students inside and outside of the classroom. Dr. Garcia.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. I would like to start by acknowledging all those at St. Louis University who have supported me, in particular the Dean of my college, Dr. Donna Lavoie, who nominated me to be the convocation speaker. For the past 10 years, I have had the great pleasure of working with SLU students in courses in Spanish language, medical Spanish, and linguistics. 10 years ago, when I arrived on campus for the first time, I could not have predicted how quickly St. Louis University would come to feel like home. I'd like to share my perspective on the ethos of this university in hopes that you will begin to see how this can be home for you too. One thing that stands out about SLU students is how they are not afraid to be vulnerable, realizing that vulnerability is a key component of growth. There is nothing quite as humbling as fumbling through a conversation in your second or third language, knowing that it would be infinitely easier to express your thoughts in your first language. I have been impressed with how gracefully my students embrace the vulnerability needed for language learning, and this extends outside of the classroom. As a mentor, club advisor, and service learning coordinator, I have seen SLU students be vulnerable with each other, with me and other faculty members, and with the broader community. This has allowed me the opportunity to reflect, something that you will be asked to do very often here, and consider my own journey as a second language learner. I can now see that being vulnerable allowed me to develop personally, professionally, and yes, linguistically. As you embark on this journey, know that putting yourself out there and taking risks is necessary for growth, and that we are here to support you as you do. Another quality that I love about SLU students is their relentless curiosity. They are not afraid to ask why something is the way it is and question things that others may take for granted. In high school, I was that somewhat annoying student who was asking my Spanish teachers, but why are there so many verb tenses in Spanish? Why do we use subjunctive here instead of indicative? And why is the Spanish trilled r so hard to pronounce? I wanted to know everything I could about the language, and eventually I discovered that it wasn't about Spanish, but rather about my desire to understand the world around me through the lens of language. As it was for me, for SLU students, the root of curiosity is much deeper than grasping one verb form or another. Instead of assuming they know how things work, they inquire and probe. They have internalized what Ted Lasso says during a hotly contested dart game, a quote that is often attributed to Walt Whitman, but whose origin is unclear. In this dart scene, Ted says, "Be curious, not judgmental." This quote, which my mom told me about just last week, really resonates with me because one of the most important lessons that I want my students to take away is cultural humility. We discuss how important it is to not assume you know how someone's culture affects their experience of the world and how it is better to be curious and ask questions of them. If you're going into the medical field and wonder, does my patient identify as Hispanic, Latino, or none of the above? Ask them. I guarantee others will be less offended by a simple question than by assumptions or judgments being made about them. As you start to fill your college life with activities, new friends, and study sessions, don't forget to be curious, just like the linguist trying to get to the bottom of why language is the way it is. Finally, SLU students show up for each other in small and big ways and are not afraid to ask for help. I have seen students going out of their way to check on classmates when they're not in class, dropping everything to help a friend when they are in crisis, and writing staff and faculty thoughtful notes and emails just because. Inside and outside of the classroom, students listen to each other with the utmost sincerity and respect, taking time to understand viewpoints that may differ from their own. SLU students recognize that asking for help builds community and allows others the space to ask for help. As you find your place in this university community, I hope you will always keep present the larger community that you now belong to. One of the guiding principles of St. Louis University is service to the community. To pay homage to my Methodist upbringing, I wanted to share in closing a quote from John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, that I think perfectly encapsulates that spirit that I hope you will carry with you on the journey you are beginning. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia. St. Louis University sums up its mission and aspirations in a phrase you'll frequently see around campus: higher purpose, greater good. It means that all members of the SLU community serve a higher purpose as a Catholic Jesuit university while seeking the greater good, the best for all, the magis, or more, for the world. Today, we have invited members of the SLU community, students, faculty, and staff, who will now share with all of you how they serve a higher purpose and seek a greater good.
What's up, Billikens? My name is Arib, like my water bottle. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm in my senior year. I successfully lobbied the Missouri State Legislature to decrease opioid overdose deaths by 34% and to eliminate the luxury tax on period products by using the advocacy resources provided by SLU's Center for Social Action. I serve for the greater good.
Good morning. My name is Matt Davis, and I serve as the Chief of Staff in the Provost's office. My other role is as one of Woody's handlers here at SLU. Woody is, there he goes. Woody is St. Louis University's duo dog who assists with SLU's broader mental health and well-being efforts. I try to ensure that our community has opportunities to interact with Woody and de-stress throughout the day so they can focus on their studies, their teaching or research, and their administrative duties. And Woody says, woof, woof. I serve for the greater good.
Good job, buddy. Come on.
Good morning. I'm Leslie McClure. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as the Dean of the College for Public Health and Social Justice. I'm also the parent of a new first-year student. Through leadership of a college that is dedicated to improving the health of communities, including our collaboration with local, national, and international partners, and that offers educational opportunities that prepare students to change the world, I serve for the greater good.
Good morning. I am Fletcher Ferguson. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the Director of Case Managers in the Dean of Students Office. Framed in the Ignatian hallmark of Cure Personalis, we support students in successfully navigating their experience at the university. We assist, challenge, and advocate for students to help them develop skills to advocate for themselves. I serve the greater good.
My name is Mason Bader. I use he, him pronouns. Thanks, RA staff. And I'm going into my second year here at SLU. As an RA and an SGA senator, I support students in their daily lives and amplify their voices in leadership spaces to ensure our campus is rooted in empathy, equity, and belonging. I want SLU to feel like a home for everyone. I serve for the greater good.
Hey everyone, my name is Allison Brewer. I use they, them pronouns. I've been at St. Louis University for 3 years where I serve as descendant liaison and as an assistant vice president in the Division of Diversity and Innovative Community Engagement. As an openly disabled administrator at SLU, I serve a higher purpose. I lead through a mission-driven lens that prioritizes justice, human dignity, and solidarity, especially with those living at the margins. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dan Kozlowski, the Associate Dean for Faculty Affairs in the College of Arts and Sciences and an Associate Professor in the Department of Communication. SLU's Jesuit mission has inspired and transformed me throughout my adult life, from my time here as a student through my 18 years as a teacher and an administrator. SLU has encouraged me and will encourage you to promote justice, to live and examine life, and to seek God in all things, including our everyday experiences and interactions. Because at SLU, we serve for the greater good.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Ung. Thanks, guys. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a senior studying health management. Through my leadership roles on campus, I've discovered my own way of empowering my peers. This will allow me to be a more well-rounded health administrator that supports providers, resulting in a higher quality of care being delivered. I serve the greater good.
Hello, my name is Naya Taylor, she, her, and I am a sophomore here at SLU. I serve a higher purpose. By showing up and being a voice that carries power, I have been able to inspire confidence and encourage collaboration to engage others.
My name is J.P. Hosman, he, him, and I serve a higher purpose as an attorney in the university's Office of the General Counsel. I'm privileged to do so as an alum, and more importantly, as of today, an extremely proud father to a new Billiken. In all of these roles, I get the honor of serving my alma mater and one very special current student for the greater glory of God.
Thank you to all of you for your inspiring words. Our next speaker today has a very special role. Our Vice President for Mission and Identity, Father David Sawalski of the Society of Jesus, will now come forward to mission our new students as they begin their lives at St. Louis University. Father.
Morning, everyone. St. Louis University is a Catholic and Jesuit university that proudly takes inspiration from the values of the Gospels and the experience of nearly 500 years of Jesuit education. We seek to be in relationship with one another and with our local community here in St. Louis. These relationships are mutual and respectful, for we know that we have much to learn from others, just as we have much to offer to others. We are men and women for and with others. Whether in a classroom or lab or in the library or catching some downtime in a hammock, we know that we are not alone. No, we are part of a community of faith and learning that seeks to discover the face of God in the faces of all whom we encounter. I want you to understand this. No one at St. Louis University is an inconvenience or just one more folder in a file. All of us are persons who possess dreams and ideas and hopes for the future. All are worthy of respect and are worthy of opportunity. And we fight fiercely to make this campus, our city, and our society more just, more equitable, more like the Lord desires for our world to be. The founder of the Society of Jesus, St. Ignatius Loyola, wrote, "For those who love, nothing is too difficult." Friends, strive to love one another as you are loved. Starting from love allows each one of us to live fully. Love shrinks anxiety. It empowers trust. It pushes us to risk. And love is what brought you here, most especially the love of your family that has shaped and guided you to this day. One of the great English poets of the 19th century was a Jesuit, Father Gerard Manley Hopkins. And one of his greatest poems opens with this line: "The world is charged with the grandeur of God. It will flame out like shining from shook foil." The university and all who are a part of it, each one of us, is charged with God's grandeur, empowered with incredible talent and intellect to seek out the world's grandeur in literature and the arts, in science, in flight, in performance, and in prayer. We foster curiosity. And like St. Ignatius and other great heroes of the Society of Jesus, we know that all that is possible here is but an invitation to go out into our often broken world and to walk with others as companions on a journey. You've now taken your first steps at St. Louis University, steps that will eventually bring you back to this arena in a few short years. Allow me to pose 3 questions for your consideration as you make choices that will shape your SLU experience. Ask yourself, do I love it? Because why waste your time and talent doing something that lacks passion or interest? Am I good at it? No one hopes to be just satisfactory, to just eke out a salary, or to highlight your participation trophies on a fireplace mantle. And does the world need it? Our world needs you to be makers of change, to be lovers of good, to be challengers to the status quo, to find new ways of proceeding, to value those who have been cast aside, to seek for justice, to be generous in service, to be a great friend, spouse, parent, or even a priest for that matter. Welcome to St. Louis University, where knowledge touches lives. Ad majorem Dei gloriam, for the greater glory of God. Your Oriflam leaders have distributed the St. Louis University prayer book to you. I hope that you keep a hold of it over these next years while you're here at SLU. And I invite you to turn to page 82, where you will see a prayer of St. Ignatius Loyola, founder of the Society of Jesus, entitled the Sushi Pay. Let's pray this together. It's a prayer of freedom. And it goes like this. Take, Lord, and receive all my liberty, my memory, my understanding, and my entire will. All that I have and call my own, you have given it all to me. To you, Lord, I return it. Everything is yours. Do with it what you will. Give me only your love and your grace. That is enough for me. Amen. And welcome to St. Louis University.
Thank you, Father Sawalski. President Fazer grew up in the Pacific Northwest and attended the University of San Francisco, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts in Government. He then pursued graduate studies at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, earning both a master's and a PhD in city and regional planning. Dr. Fazer's career in higher education has included faculty and leadership roles at UNC Chapel Hill, the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, the University of Manchester in the United Kingdom, and most recently, Oregon State University. He has also served in government as the Assistant Secretary for Policy in the North Carolina Department of Commerce. Dr. Fazer teaches in the areas of public policy, economics, and planning. Shaped by his Jesuit education, Dr. Fazer's leadership is defined by a steadfast commitment to the success of every student and the power of universities to transform lives and contribute to flourishing communities. Dr. Fazer became the university's 34th president this summer. On this, his first convocation ceremony as president, I hope you will join me in giving him a very warm welcome. President Fazer.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dorsey. Welcome, New Billikens, parents, families, trustees, administrative leaders, faculty, staff, and guests. Today is a special day when we formally welcome you into the St. Louis University community. Today is the day you become Billikens. And this year, you and I have something in common, as Dr. Dorsey said. We're both new. You might have noticed that when I came in and sat in the wrong spot and scooted over to my other seat. Or you might also notice that my gown is starting to fail, as the zipper apparently is broken. So there's a lesson here. If the university president can mess up or experience some bad luck, you got no worries when you run into a little hiccup or two while you're a student here at SLU. You just think about me. And then keep your cameras ready. Who knows, I might take a tumble on the way out of the venue. But we might share some of the same worries. Will they like me? Will I make new friends? How's the food? Where is the food? Will I be successful here? Will I make my family proud? Will I believe in myself? You're beginning a new journey today, together. Where will our paths take us? That's a big question. Thankfully, you chose the right place to ask big questions. Look at all these people up here. Father Sawalski is a historian with degrees in history, theology, divinity, and American studies. Dr. Dorsey is a physical therapist with advanced degrees in business and higher education. Dr. Garcia is an expert in Ecuadorian Spanish, and Provost Lewis is a chemist. The faculty with us represent dozens of academic fields, so many accomplishments, so much difference they've made in the world. Maybe it feels a little overwhelming. Come to think of it, I think I'm a little intimidated. In my case, I'm fascinated by cities. Why they grow and why they decline, why some people thrive in them and others fall behind. How do we turn struggling cities around? How do we make sure everyone benefits when we do? Those are the questions I've spent a career asking. 27 years ago, I earned a PhD in city planning at the University of North Carolina. I went on to teach and do research at 4 big universities before coming to SLU. I studied cities and regions in the U.S. South, in the Midwest, Mexico, China, and Europe. I led projects for the World Bank and other organizations. I wrote papers and books and mentored PhD students, transfer students, freshmen, and master's students like you. My life's not only been about career. 35 years ago, I married the love of my life. We were blessed with 2 wonderful children who today are caring, successful people, and they actually like to hang out with us. We've had joys and we've had sorrows. I've succeeded in some things and I've failed badly in others. We're not TikTok and Instagram stories, living lives of perfection and perpetual happiness. No one is. But I don't tell you all of this so you're impressed with me. I tell you this so you know that when I sat where you're sitting, I had no earthly idea about any of it. I didn't know what a PhD was. If a faculty member said, well, I do research, I was like, okay. When I sat where you're sitting, I didn't know you could study cities for a living. They pay you for that? I didn't even know I liked cities. People sometimes say, find your dream and follow it, but most of us have no idea what our dream is. I'm here to tell you that for most of us, dreams aren't found. Dreams are what happen on the journey, not the end of it. Dreams are lived, and living, really living, is about courage, trying things, taking a chance, leaning into the unexpected, listening to the love and guidance gifted to you by the people around you. What I want to tell you today is that you came to the right place to live your journey. I grew up in very remote places in Montana, Washington, and California. In Montana, my parents used a snowmobile to get groceries in the winter, and they used a boat in the summer. One of my grammar schools had 2 rooms and 35 students across 9 grades. I developed a love and a comfort with the mountains, with the remote, with solitude. But when it came time to go to college, I had a glimmer of a thought that I needed to learn something about those big places where most people live. I went to the University of San Francisco, also a Jesuit university like SLU. There in my first year, I happened to take a course with Professor Ralph Lane, a legendary professor of sociology. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't really understand the topic, but it sounded interesting, and it promised doing projects in the city. At the time slot was pretty good, too. It wasn't too early in the morning. Working on one of those projects in a distressed San Francisco neighborhood, one beset with problems of crime, drug use, and poverty, I discovered my first interest in understanding how cities work and how those workings can help or hurt people. Over the course of my next 3 years, gently and persistently, without me really noticing, Dr. Lane would nurture that interest, nurture the joy of not just learning things, but taking action. Here at SLU, you'll find similar professors and classes. You'll have the opportunity to take classes out of your comfort zone, classes that you're not really sure what they're about, but somehow they make you curious. When that happens, don't overthink it. Just do it. You'll also have the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to study this great city, to get to know St. Louis, our history, our challenges, and our opportunities to make it a better place. You'll learn by doing. You'll come to know about the concept of a contemplative in action. And you'll see how your unique skills and perspectives can be put to work to serve people, places, and the greater good. You'll learn something about leadership. Maybe like me, you'll start your journey with just one class or one project, and you won't necessarily know where it'll take you. In my second year in college, I encountered Father McDonald, professor of politics, in the library one day. I asked him a question about a course of his I was taking. He didn't give me the quick and convenient answer that I'm pretty sure I was looking for. Instead, he told me to walk with him through the library to the original source, to the text of a philosopher we were studying. Pulling a big and dusty book off the shelf, he showed me, by doing, the discipline of going to the original ideas. With his example, he demonstrated rigor, craft, care in getting to the bottom of a question. And on that day, looking at the text he'd probably read 1,000 times, he saw something he hadn't noticed before. His face lit up, the wonder of a new insight in his eyes. And though he explained to me what he saw and why it mattered, I confess it went right over the top of my head. What I do remember vividly, though, was the glimpse of what research, what discovering something feels like. For me, it was like a spark or a little pointer toward a new direction on my journey, one that hadn't occurred to me before. Billikens, you will find that joy of discovery here at SLU. The faculty you will study with have found lives of purpose and satisfaction in creating new knowledge. They've invented new technologies, advanced new cures, discovered histories that have been buried for centuries. How do you begin your journey? You start by having the courage to ask a question, just one. Then you follow the question where it leads you. At this Jesuit university, your professors aren't going to give you easy answers. They are not going to present you with just one point of view. They're going to show you how to engage in real inquiry. They'll challenge you to up your game. They'll also give you the gift of their time if you let them, in their offices, in their labs, in their field work, and you'll develop a love of learning and discovering that will stay with you for your entire life. One more example from my experience. First couple of years I was in college, I must have walked past the study abroad office dozens of times. In my third year, I finally wandered in, curious but certain I could never afford to go on such a program. A kind staff member told me that was nonsense, showed me the options, and helped me apply for a scholarship. Several months later, I was on a flight to Vienna, only the second flight I'd ever taken, and the first person in my family to hold a passport. There I met teachers and friends from all over Europe and the world, learned more about cities, and you never know what can happen, met that love of my life I mentioned. Everyone say hello to Kathy. Here at SLU, you'll have the opportunity to study at our Madrid campus, or to find another study abroad location that calls to you. Even if you don't study abroad, you'll meet faculty, staff, and students from every corner of the world. You'll experience the richness of an international university. You'll begin to see how our lives and communities are connected around the globe. I could tell you so much more about my experiences, about the experiences I hope you'll have here, about how a SLU education will enrich your spiritual life if you're Catholic, and if you're Jewish, or Muslim, or Presbyterian, or any number of other religions, or no religion at all. At SLU, we value both faith and reason as ways of knowing. and you will certainly meet people whose strong faith will inspire you through the highs and lows of your own spiritual life. I could also tell you about SLU's Jesuit charism and how our shared values and way of proceeding give us the unique opportunity to build bridges in a time when division feels all too common. But it's time for me to stop talking about journeys, and it's time for you to start living them here at SLU. As you go forward, I hope you'll embrace the experiment, the unexpected, the unpredictable option. Find the friendships and relationships that will guide you. Take the unanticipated forks in the road. And by the way, some of us believe those unanticipated forks taken are little nudges from God, and that listening to them is the way to a good life. But you're going to learn all about that. Billikens, you'll learn about that and a lot more. So now you're thinking, thanks, President Fazer, that's all well and good. I'm hungry. And what the heck is a billiken? So that's a question I can answer for you. A billiken is a mythical figure who represents things as they ought to be. It's a perfect mascot for a Jesuit university and for us at SLU. We're a community of faculty, staff, and students who use our knowledge, our skills, and our gifts to help make this world the way it ought to be. As you live your journey, you'll discover the unique and specific ways that you'll contribute to a better world, because you're Billikens. All right, one last thing. I want you to join me in a St. Louis University Convocation tradition. The Housing and Residence Life team and the Oriflamme leaders helped school me on this earlier in the week. Okay, new Billikens, I want you to repeat after me as loudly as you can. I am a Billiken. I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Not too shabby. Let's get some help. Okay, Oriflamme and HRL on 3. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. All right, everyone on 3. 1, 2, 3. And we are so happy you are. God bless you. Welcome to St. Louis University.
Thank you, Dr. Fazer. We are truly pleased to have all of you with us today, and we thank you for choosing St. Louis University. Before we conclude, I would like to ask you to join me in showing our appreciation for the many wonderful student leaders, faculty, and staff who assisted with move-in and fall welcome. Let's give a cheer for our resident advisors. Learning community peer mentors. Oriflamme leaders. Transfer mentors, international ambassadors, commuter assistants, housing and residence life staff, student involvement center, facilities and custodial staff, dining staff, events and services staff, and the countless other faculty and staff who have volunteered for move-in. Thank you. As a reminder, there are many fall welcome activities planned for today and for the next several days. Please visit SLU's website or the SLU app for more information. As we conclude this convocation program, our president, deans, vice presidents, and faculty will be happy to greet you and even pose for selfies at the tent on the parking lot just outside the arena. We would all be delighted to personally welcome our new students and their families. We invite everyone to head outside and join us. We're serious. Please come and say hello. And thank you, and welcome to St. Louis University.